Welcome back to Let's Play Neverwinter Nights 2 Mask of the Betrayer. This is Big Los, and we are in the Ashen Wood.
Yes.
We have just healed the Woodman, and thus healed the rest of the forest. So let's go around here and pick up all these treasure bags that we left earlier, and then we're going to have some conversations with the rest of our party, because some of the conversations have changed since we have healed the Woodman. Alright, let's grab all the rest of these. Now, the first one that we're going to be talking to is Oku, because after we talk to him, we're going to need to dismiss him.
Step with me. Come on. Follow along.
And let's see if we have any in our inventory. We do, so let's give those to Sophia, and then she'll combine whatever essences that she has. And we're going to need to dismiss Oku because I've discovered a little mini bug in one of the conversations that you have with Kaelyn. And in fact, it's kind of severe because when you talk to her for the second bonus feat that you get from her, and if he's in your party and you say a certain thing, then you won't even get the feat. So that's pretty bad. So the only way we're around it is to get rid of him in our party. Yes. So let's move him over here, and then we'll talk to him, and then we'll dismiss him.
Your hunger grows, Spirit Eater. I can smell it on you. I am pleased to see your wits are still about you, for I fear the moment when your hunger takes over.
If I feel my end is near, I'll ask you to finish me off first.
That is a noble sentiment, little one. I will take no pleasure in killing you when that time comes. But it is good that we both realize what must be done.
Alright, I think we should part ways for now.
That sounds unwise to me, little friend. I find that mortals take each other more seriously when one of them has a snarling bear at his back.
I'm certain I'll find you again if I need you.
As you like. I shall return to the Mulsantir gate and slumber a while, perhaps, until you return for me.
Alright, so there he goes, and he disappears, and looks like we forgot another treasure bag, so let's grab it over here.
Step with me. Come on. Follow along.
Now let's go this way, and as you can see, there is Dalenka, and since she's not in our party anymore, we could do sleight of hand on her and get some gold. I still haven't figured out how much gold that she has total, so let's talk to her. You have done something opposed to your nature. Allow me to do something opposed to mine. I wish you fortune on your journey. May you find what you seek. And now you'll forgive my bluntness, but it is probably best that you leave. Farewell. Alright, and we can steal some more, and now let's talk to Kaelyn.
This curse smells of a god's touch. I should have realized it. And a dead god, of which there are few.
Do you have any thoughts as to which it might be?
No, I could not venture to say. Many of the gods are petty, both the living gods and the dead. Their punishments have been known to outlive them. And perhaps you suffer from such a punishment somehow gone awry. If that is the case, this curse was not originally meant for you, but for another.
I had questions for you.
Gladly. If I have the answer, it is yours.
Let's do this lore. When we met Derevik, you mentioned you were once a Doom Guide, which means you once followed Kelemvor.
Yes. Part of the tenets of Kelemvor is to comfort the dying, for them to make peace with death. It was once a task that comforted me as well.
What happened?
It is difficult to express, but I will try. Once I was one of the priesthood of Kelemvor, god of the dead. I walked the plains, alleviating the suffering of others. But to face those same spirits, to soothe them and comfort them, only to know that they are bound for a place that torments them. It is not something I understand.
What do you mean?
In Kelemvor's faith, they teach that death is not something to be feared, that it is part of the natural cycle, but that is not true. If one does not worship the gods, there is much to fear, and no prospects of peace in the afterlife.
No prospects of peace? I don't understand.
To comfort a dying child, knowing it is destined to scream eternally in an ever-living wall. A midwife of the plains who has never heard of such a thing as gods. An entire plain of sea wives who farm the sea and seed the oceans to bring about life. To know that they are bound to become stones in the wall of a faithless citadel, crushed together by dogma and ritual that has never once been reflected upon, that never once has been examined for what it is.
You're speaking of the Wall of the Faithless.
Yes, the great wall that encircles the City of Judgment. Its bricks are souls that never pledged fealty to any god, nor knew that they had to achieve paradise in the afterlife. They are mortared there, crushed together to suffer by archaic law. No matter how good or pure or unselfish they were, it matters only if they followed the proper rituals to a deity, any deity.
That does seem unjust.
That is my sentiment as well. Religion is not ritual. It is intended to comfort, to strengthen, not to punish. Is lip service to a god, is that what is important? Or is it the acts and belief that matter?
What do you believe should be done?
My conscience cannot be silenced on this. I hear justice. I hear the last words of those who suffer and need comfort. All of these things I hear, always. But beyond them, in the fugue plain, I hear the cries of those dead who lie within the wall, and I cannot forsake them.
If you go, I will go with you and help you if I can.
I would welcome your help, and it lends me strength to know that you are my ally in this. I will fly to them, and I will grant them wings as I have. I shall release them from the curse that their death has become, because it is the right thing to do for one's spirit to be at peace.
What do you intend to do?
I led the Second Crusade to tear down this wall. Like the first, it failed, but I still live. It will continue.
Second Crusade?
There was a First Crusade. It too was stalled for a time. The one who led it suffered as I had. That is part of the journey, I feel.
What happened during the First Crusade?
My grandfather sought to dissuade me from my efforts with the tale of the First Crusade. I do not think he understood the tale he was telling. Before then, I did not even know that there had been previous attempts to bring down the wall. To realize that others had felt as I did gave me a new strength, new conviction.
Who led the crusade?
One mortal sought to cast down the wall and failed, even with an army at his back. His name was Akachi, sometimes known as the Betrayer.
Why did your grandfather tell you such a tale?
In all things, grandfather saw process and order and ritual, and that is what he tried to teach me when he told me of the First Crusade. But those are abstracts that orbit a purpose. If the purpose is flawed, what meaning do process and ritual have?
After your grandfather told you the tale, what did you say?
Only one question remained in my mind, so I spoke it. Why must the universe be so? Grandfather answered, resolved with, what is there to be done? To him it was a statement. To me, it was a question. It is that question that is the torch that leads my way in shadow. I know what must be done.
Let's see, yeah, we gotta go through this again.
In all things, but those are abstracts that orbit a purpose. If the purpose is flawed, what meaning do process and ritual have?
Tell me about your grandfather.
He is a Solar, and I one of his descendants. His blood runs through my veins, but my perspective and my spirit are my own, not tied to the higher planes.
Alright, no, never mind, let's move on. Now let's talk to her again.
I am glad we have time to speak. There is something I wish to share with you. A protection of sorts to aid you in our travels. You met my brother and sister in Mulsantir. Unknown to many, my siblings and I share strength as members of the Menagerie. A blessing I wish to convey upon you.
I cannot accept such a blessing. I have done nothing to deserve it.
I thought perhaps you might say such a thing. But it has already been done, and I will not permit you to return such a gift, even if you were able to. It is a protective ward that enables focus even when one is in tremendous pain, and allows one to resist wounds and ailments that assault the body so the mind can remain pure. It will aid you in the struggles ahead, perhaps even help you resist what consumes you.
Forgive me, but I cannot accept this. Save your strength. Do not waste it on me.
It is not something that can be refused. It is already done. But it will bring you no harm. Not now, not ever. Only strength. Even should we part company, or I perish, the blessing will remain. Neither time nor evil shall chip at it, and it will help you until the end of your days.
Based on Kaelyn's influence status with you, Loyal, you have gained the influence-based feat, Blessing of the Menagerie, giving you a bonus to your Fortitude saving throws. Okay, I had questions for you.
Gladly. If I have the answer, it is yours.
Okay. Tell me a little about yourself.
I sought to lead a crusade against the city of the dead, to correct the injustice I saw there. If the universe would not remove the wall of the faithless, then I would. I was not the first to feel this way. Have I told you of the first crusade? The war of Akachi against the wall of the faithless? He was a faithful adherent of Merkel, Lord of the Dead those many centuries ago, before the rise of Kelemvor.
He was a follower of Merkel?
Yes, one of Merkel's chosen ones, in fact. He dispensed justice in Merkel's name and hunted the enemies of his god across the plains. But when one he loved fell victim to Merkel's laws, he appealed to his god and was rebuked.
Laws? What laws?
The one who loved Akachi, she did not worship the gods, any god, let alone the god of her beloved, Merkel. There is a punishment for ones who carry such beliefs. No matter how virtuous their lives, those who do not believe in the gods will suffer upon the wall of the faithless until their souls are no more.
That seems unjust.
Yes, it is. Once they are on the wall, they die again. And it is not a quick death. It is a slow slide. It is agony until their souls are dissolved into the wall. They decay until they are destroyed completely, utterly.
No one deserves such a fate for simply not worshipping the gods.
Akachi's sense of justice would not permit him to accept even the words of his own god if he felt they were unjust, nor would he accept the wall that encircled Merkel's city. So he gathered allies, great lieutenants of dragonkind, divas, and even the undead to his side. He attacked Merkel and was crushed.
So the wall remains.
But the tale lives on. It lives on in me, in others, who saw what Akachi tried to do. And in his tale we take strength, and we continue his war. For the wall of the faithless is not just. It must be cast down.
I agree. It sounds like a cruel punishment.
I am pleased to hear you say that. Sometimes I fear that I am alone in my beliefs, and I question them. Merkel's construct has passed to Kelemvor, the new god of the dead. He is set in his ways, and is as deaf to appeals as Merkel was. There must be justice in this life, and in death. I am bound to both, but I am not bound to accept their laws.
I had other questions for you.
Gladly. If I have the answer, it is yours.
I wanted to ask you about your family.
What of them?
I was curious about your brothers and sisters.
I have 4 siblings, and we were seldom apart. We called ourselves the Menagerie, and we took on the mantles of animals that reflected our spirits the best.
Were seldom apart?
Yes, recent events have separated us, and our paths have divided.
What were your siblings' names again?
Ephraim the Stag and Susa the Crow traveled with me, and Josu and Becca, twins, paladins, with courage and manes from which the lions were born.
Why did you take the name of the Dove?
I was the spiritual leader of the Menagerie. I took the dove as a symbol of peace.
That seems at odds with your crusade.
It was never my intention to attack the City of Judgment. My intention was to bring down the Wall of the Faithless. To bring down the wall by violence was not my intent. I had hoped, if Kaelyn saw the strength and conviction of the crusade assembled, it would cause him to reconsider.
You wish to talk, but were willing to fight if need be. Yeah, I think all the others lose influence.
It was too important a cause not to be willing to fight for it. It still is.
I had other questions for you.
Gladly. If I have the answer, it is yours.
Wanted to ask you about your family.
What of them?
I was interested in hearing about your grandfather.
He dwells in the House of the Triad on the slopes of Celestia as I did. He's one of the Solars, the strongest of divas. He's a champion of order and of structure. He was the one who led the shaping of Limbo's outer reaches 2 centuries ago to forge stability from that chaotic plane. And he ended the reign of the tyrant Ankriva and the desiccated kings of the Shremar, who were allied with Merkel long ago.
Lore. I heard Ankriva still lives in undeath.
You know your history well. That knowledge is rare, even amongst priests of Kaelyn. He ended the chaos of their empire, not destroyed them utterly. Had he done so, he would have brought more ruin to their lands, and Grandfather believes strongly that chaos breeds more evil. He rarely intervened on the Prime, but in that instance, Ankriva was affecting the cycles of life and death on the plains, and it had to be ended.
Was he part of the Menagerie as well?
No, the Menagerie was perhaps more concerned with the Prime than Grandfather was. The outer planes were his home, where he felt he could make the most difference. The Prime was not something he concerned himself with, and even on the Prime, he would not allow his feet to touch ground.
Never mind, let's move on. Alright, let's check our character sheet, and we'll go to our feats. And here we go, Blessing of the Menagerie. This blessing is permanent, we get +2 to Wisdom and +2 to Fortitude saves. So that brings our Wisdom up to 10, now we don't have a negative modifier.
The more I travel with you, the more I learn from you, the more I am certain of my convictions. There was a time in the past where I felt I had the power to lead others in a righteous cause. Now I see what a true leader is capable of. I and my brothers and sisters bow to you. You have earned our loyalty, our devotion, and the bond that comes with it.
You have already helped me enough. It would not be right to expect more.
I thought perhaps you might say such a thing, but it has already been done, and I will not permit you to return such a gift, even if you were able to. You may find greater calm in seeking wisdom and learning from the events around you, but it is not solely a meditative bond. When others seek to prevent you from acting, they will find they cannot.
I do not wish to waste the Menagerie's strength on me. Please, save it for yourselves. Oh wait, very well, but I'd like a name too. Yeah, that's the one I want to do.
A name? I had not thought of that. What name would you like? My siblings are the stag, the lions, and the crow. I am the dove. What title would suit you?
Oh no. What do you think I should be? Whatever you choose, I shall accept it.
It must be a thing of the wild, or something that was once part of the natural order. Tell me, when your power first emerged and set you on this course, what was your first victim?
It was a Telther spirit, a wolf.
So be it. You are one of the Menagerie, and you bear the mantle of the wolf. We pledge our devotion to you, and the link is now forged. Your quest is ours, and our power and strength shall be as yours. Even should I die, or we are split in battle, the Menagerie shall remain devoted to you. So shall this bond be forever marked upon you. Together, let us act to end this curse of yours, and bring justice and mercy to the plains.
Based on Kaelyn's influence status with you devoted, you have gained the influence-based feat, Devotion of the Menagerie. giving you freedom of movement and a bonus to your wisdom score and fortitude saving throws. Okay, never mind. Let's move on. Alright, so let's check our feats. Devotion of the Menagerie. Now we got +4 to wisdom. We still have +2 to fortitude saves, and we have freedom of movement at all times. Very good. Okay. Now let's talk to Sophia.
I was hoping there would be a more expedient solution to your curse. A disease that could be cured, or some curse-throwing witch I could disintegrate. But if the Woodman is correct, a dead god is to blame for all of your troubles.
I'm not worried yet. There must be some way to end this curse.
From all I've read and all I've heard of the legends of the Spirit Eater, the condition is rather fatal.
As opposed to slightly fatal?
Ah, did I actually say that? Yes, well, as long as your sense of humor is intact, I will know the curse has not devoured you.
I had some questions for you.
What would you like to know?
I guess we really can't ask anything else. That's all I need to know for now. Alright, I think that's all that we can really do here. So we might as well take our leave and go back to Mulsantir. Wait
Yes.
a minute. Am I going the right way? Yes, okay. We'll have Kaelyn lead us off because of her wings. She moves like 10% faster than normal. Even with haste, she'll move 10% faster than the other characters, so... The same thing with Oku. And by the way, if you say that you want a name, and then Kaelyn says, well, what name do you want? Oku will say, it better not be Bear. And then it cuts off the dialogue right there, and you do not get the feat. So, that is kind of a bug, and I don't know why they didn't work that out. Nobody caught that during development, but whatever, that's the way around it. You gotta get him out of the party. So, let's go back to Mulsantir. It takes 4 days to travel, and since our craving went down to 0, if you noticed the bar on the craving meter, it's down to 0. When you heal the Woodman, it reduces your craving down to 0, and every time that you use that new feat that you got, or that we got, it will lower your craving and
Yes.
heal your party. And like I said before, we'll have Kaelyn lead us off because she moves that much faster, and will she be able to beat the captain to the door? Oh, you betcha. Alright. So we're going to go in here, we're going to add Gann to our party, and then we'll talk to him a little bit. And then we'll go and talk to those witches again.
Back again, I see. And what may this one do for you?
I want you to travel with me.
I am honored and accept your gracious request. Shall we be off? Heroic deeds await.
Alright, so let's talk to him.
So this curse is a blessing from a dead god. Of the dead. If nothing will show you the weaknesses of such pompous creatures as those gods you worship, the fact your former god of the dead now lies dead should be proof enough. May the spirits weep for the foolish beliefs of men.
So you're not one of the faithful then?
Filthy gods and their games. The spirits of Rashomon have no need of gods to guard the dead gates. Yet the humans, the Rashemi, you should have more respect for the spirits. They come at my beck and call, and they are far more powerful than your god of the dead, whichever version of him dances in his graveyard now.
Alright, I had questions for you.
Of course. Ask what you will, and I will do my best to answer.
Nothing else was added, so never mind. Let us continue on.
Come this way.
Let's put on the persistent haste so that we move that much faster, because
Yes.
if we go from the Ashenwood to here, it does replenish our spells. But if we go from like
Yes?
the Burning Grove and to the world map to the Lake of Tears garrison, it doesn't replenish your spells, even though it does replenish your uses of Devour Spirit. I don't really understand how that works. That's probably another bug that nobody caught during development. Oh well, that's what we're for. We tend to catch all the bugs around here. We're like a mosquito net. Alright, so let's go up here and let's go talk to these witches. Go this way and then we'll go. I thought I was gonna go on the other side of the fence and you come back. Whatever. Okay. And those guys are fighting, and I promise you we'll go talk to the Berserkers in the Ice Troll Lodge soon. But first, let's talk to these witches. I am sorry, child. Sorry that I treated you poorly because you were a foreigner. And sorry that I did not trust you to control your hunger. And I am sorry as well. And we are both sorry that you did not find your answers in the wood. I guided you poorly, child. I forgive you, both of you. Influence gained with Kaelyn. Your forgiveness of spirit is honorable, Captain Savaho the Wolf. Such acts can inspire similar acts in others. Oh, we've got her name changed permanently. I didn't notice that. You saved our sister Dalenka. Risk your own soul to heal our sacred forest. Our gratitude and our trust are yours. Take this gift in friendship. We pray that the spirits will help you find your answers and your salvation. Farewell. Alright, so we get 4,000 XP for that. We get some sort of amulet, and looks like Sophia gained a level, so let's check out this amulet. How do you pronounce that? Hilariarine? A powerful artifact of Rashomon, the Hilariarine is a treasured amulet passed from grandparent to grandchild, and whose power is reflected in the strength and bravery of the family of warriors who has always carried it. Gives you +4 natural armor bonus, 20 bonus hit points. It gives you 2 to all of your saves, universal, and it lets you cast heal. So I think that's a perfect amulet for Sophia. And it raises her AC up by 4 because she had no existing natural armor bonus. Now she'll be able to cast heal if she needs to. So let's level her up. Let's recommend her skills, and then we get a wizard-specific feat. So what are we going to do? Epic Gate. What does this do? This spell opens a portal to the lower planes and calls forth a Balor to assail your foes. If it is slain, a second one immediately is summoned in its place. The strength of this conjuration is such that the demons are bound to your will, and you need not have cast protection from evil or any similar spell to prevent them from attacking you. And it lasts for 40 rounds. Well, that's pretty good. That's a little bit less than 7 minutes. What does it recommend? Silent spell again? After we get that Epic Gate? No, we're picking Epic Gate. That's just plain awesome. Alright, and then we get another feat. Because we are at an odd number level. And it's still recommending Silent Spell. You know what? Maybe we'll just go with it and see if it leads to something better. Maybe that's why it's been trying to pick it this whole time. Whatever. Alright, then we got 2 more spells to pick. And as you can see, we got no more level 9 spells. We got them all. Now, I don't know if any of these level 8 spells are worth getting. What about 7? We got almost all level 7 spells. Hiss of Sleep. Targets the spell fall into a comatose slumber. What about... Oh yeah, Chain Lightning. That's a good one. Alright, so we got that. Anything good here? Feeble Mind. No, that's not really that good. Let's see, we got... Now, we do have regular Mind Blank. And we got regular spell mantles, so we don't need the lesser versions of those spells. Let's see, anything good from level 4? We barely have any level 4 spells. No. What's that power word? Maladroit? What does that do? Oh, that's not very good. No, the spells when you get to lower levels really aren't that good. I guess maybe we could do this Owl's Wisdom up here. Just in case we needed to craft something in the future. Sure, we'll pick that. Just in case. Alright, so that should do it. Now we got her leveled up to where we want it.
Well now. What do you
Okay, I
think?
think our next goal is to go to the Sunken City and speak with the Slumbering Coven. That was one of our leads that we got from Leanna, so what mysteries will we find there? Find out next time. This is Big Los signing off. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time, and Tenga un buen dia.